VFX footage. VFX footage. VFX footage. VFX footage. VFX footage. VFX footage.
All right, good afternoon Freetown, good afternoon Sierra Leone, good afternoon viewers of Freetown Television Network on channel 35 and listeners of Freetown Radio 90.4 FM. This is how I'd like to welcome you again once more to the final edition of this week, the program The Views. Today is the 22nd day of the month of March 2019, and all around the world, Sierra Leone has joined countries around the globe to celebrate World Water Day. Obviously, water is life. Water is life, and there is no living thing. Nothing on earth can survive without water. And today has been a particular day set aside to praise water, which is obviously everything in nature. It's very important in everyday life. We use it for our domestic activities. We use them for so many things, for the body, hygiene, sanitation, everything soever that you think about is water. It's so important, and the earth, of course, comprises of some amount of water to show that water is life. Well, once more, welcome to the program The Views. I'm Claude Ateo Robert, I'm your host, and I'm in the studio with the Public Relations Officer, poor manager of the Guma Valley Water Company. It's no other person but Pierre Palmer. He is with me in the studio, and we are going to look into the water system of Mama Salone. Yes, we are going to look into the water system of Mama Salone to see how far we've gone with the crisis. Of course, there is water crisis all over the country, and spread around even West Africa and Africa as a whole. There is a problem of water. And then it has been the most essential commodity for our nature, but yet still we are facing some scarcity and sometime when it's necessary. Pierre Palmer, welcome to the program The Views.
Welcome, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the voice of Pierre Palmer, the poor manager of Guma Valley Water Company. Now, today is World Water Day, and as I said earlier on, water is life. In every aspect of life, water is an essential commodity, and today is set aside to commemorate this wonderful item, water. It's two molecules of hydrogen and a molecule of oxygen, according to the scientists. Good. Sorry. And what is there to say for today's celebration, water? And the theme for today is I think it's water for all or something.
No, leave no one behind.
Oh, leave no one behind.
Yeah.
And I believe Guma Valley is ready to take everybody on board.
Yeah, Guma is ready to do that.
Yeah.
That's why, okay, even before the World Water Day, about 3 years ago, that's why we created the Purple Unit. Yeah. The Purple Unit tries to tackle, to supply water to individuals that cannot afford the normal pipe carbon connection. So that's why we came with the ideas of taking water to the communities through bars and services. We build a kiosk for them, through boreholes, and the seller to subsidize it.
Okay, that's the Purple Unit.
The Purple Unit. Yeah.
Through boreholes.
Through boreholes, bars and services, things like that. We take water to the kiosks
Yeah.
and we expect the community to sell water to these individuals at a very subsidized rate.
Is that one of the way to salvage the situation of water crisis?
That is one of the quick winning ways, the easy way in which we need to take water to these people, because we have the big plans, the river care plans, the different interventions, we have all of those things. But those things take time. It takes a minimum of 3 years to do those things, those investments. So for the quick fix solution, it's for us to take water to these communities that we don't have pipeline water in.
And you're talking about the kiosk.
Yeah.
It seems somehow disturbing.
The kiosk is what we call the Miller tanks.
Okay.
Yes.
The tanks.
In actual fact, it's a storage capacity, a tank that has tap heads that supplies water to individual when they want the water.
And sorry, how do Guma Valley generate this water? How do you get your water to supply to the Bowsers, the different communities? How do you go about it?
We get the water from our dams and reservoirs. We catch the water, we treat the water, put them in pipes, transmission pipes and distribution pipes. And for the kiosks, we have Bowsers that goes to Bowser collection point, we call the hydrant, collect the water that has been treated and take them to these kiosks and tanks for the community to sell.
Yes, you people have been doing a lot to help the water situation, but yet still the crisis is gramping, it's going up. And there are ways and means to add to your capacity so as to supply water everywhere. There are so many people crying for water every day, and we can see our children with these rubber containers going up and down in the night, in the morning hours before getting their daily job. You can see them rushing everywhere for water, and you are saying that you people have gone as far as providing kiosk and Bowsers, but yet still the problem is lying there.
Yeah.
Is there any way to add to this value so that water can be a lesser crisis for Sierra Leoneans?
Yeah. Water is a finite resource. It means that the water that is in the wall is just there. It's not going anywhere. You can't have more water. Yeah. We say more rains come more water. It's a cycle, a bunch of cycle. Yeah, in which water that evaporates comes down again through rain. So it's a finite resource. We can't have water from another planet coming. So the water that we have in the wall is what we're going to use. That is where the word conservation comes in. How we conserve water, how we use them, how we make sure that it's not depleted in a rapid manner.
How many ways of conservation do you people observe?
Conservation. For Guma, we try to look at the environment, try to manage how the water catchment being protected. And we're not doing it alone. We're doing it with EPA, we're doing it with Ministry of Lands, we do it with National Protected Area Authority. We're working all with those arms of government. Yeah. So basically what we do, we go into this community, try to enlighten them about the effects of deforestation, cutting down trees, because the trees are very important. They're the one that safeguards the water, they store it, and they release them in time for the streams not to dry up. At the moment, for the past 3 years, we are having our minor sources being dried up because we are having communities cutting down trees, building residences up the hills where the water comes from. So we are going to this community, try to talk to them, try to work with the police, the local police unit plays a very important role in that also. We try to communicate with the community the effects of cutting down trees and the drying up of sources. If the sources are dried up, Guma cannot provide more water to people of Freetown.
Now, cutting down these trees, yes, can help to dry up the dam, but during the rainy season we have enough water pouring down, and yet still, just after the rainy season, you can see scarcity of water. And what's that cause?
That's the reason for that is because we have infrastructure that has been down for about 50-60 years. The dam at Mile 13, we have a reservoir at Spur Road, we have another one at Wilberforce, we have a reservoir and a dam at Congo and Babadori, we have Allentown. These reservoirs are there. They are there to store water. When the rain comes, the water we fill these reservoirs with water. As soon as the rain stops, we start supplying the water. The next question that will come in anybody's mind is, why can't we build more reservoirs? That's the main issue.
Yes.
Well, now we're working with the government and with DFID and other donors to expand these reservoirs and build new structures to store more water, so that when come the dry season, we have more water to supply people of Freetown.
How far have you gone with the plans of building new reservoirs? Because those that are there already, we are built for a certain capacity, for a certain population, and now the country of itself has over the years been overpopulated to your expectation, to what you people have prepared for water supply, and now the crisis is just on top of our heads. So what are the plans that are on the pipeline to see that we get more reservoirs scattered around the country, that people will be at ease?
We have a good design team. For the past year or two, the design team has gone around, collected data, and carried out their design calculation. So we have all these drawings for the design in place. We've contacted the donor partners, and the DFID, the African Development Bank, the World Bank. They are on board at the moment. So at the moment, we're looking at this design that we're done, and they came in more consultant to see how we can plus minus, add or reduce on the design and calculations and things like that. So that work is ongoing at the moment. A good design team is in town, working with the Guma design team to ensure that this design will not just last for the next 20 years, but will last to 50, 60 years for the next generation, for them to have water without any scarcity issues.
Okay, preparations are on the way. But now we're talking about, again, you spoke about boreholes, and these boreholes, you can't have them everywhere. Yeah, strategic areas that I know you detect the soil, maybe you go through some visibility studies before trying to dig a borehole. And how do you go about that visibility study for areas that are liable to boreholes?
The geologists are good at that. Yeah, they have the tools and the equipment in which they go. We have the ground surface, and the water flows underneath the ground surface. But the water has its path that is take. Its path, you cannot be on top of the surface and detect which the water is using underground. So the geologists come in with a device, and listen to the device and things like that. They do their investigation, and they can advise you that this area has water, this area has good yield, this area has low yield. So with those, it's what the engineers don't use now. Those recommendations from the geologists, they use now to site locations for borehole drilling.
And how can this one help? Since it's not going to be scattered all around, there are specific areas that we are going to dig boreholes. What about areas that cannot encourage boreholes?
So
how are we going to?
So for now, the quick wins is that for areas that cannot that do not have groundwater for boreholes, that is why we take the kiosks to those areas, and bring the tanks to those areas, especially the areas up the hills. Yeah. We go there, we build a platform, put the tanks there, connect tap heads there, and allow bowels of water to supply them. But there's a procedure for that. For you to get after the tank has been constructed, we give all tanks free water. We call it the seed water. We expect you to sell that water and come to Guma and pay for the next delivery to your community. So what we do, we sell the water to the community at a very, very subsidized rate. We sell them at 50,000 euros for 10,000 liters of water. The bottle capacity is 10,000 liters. The tanks are usually 10,000 liters. So community pays 50,000 euros and supply the water to those communities. We expect the community to sell the water at 3 jerry cans, the 3.5 gallons, for 1,000 euros. So with that, the tank manager can have profit for him to manage himself and the tank, and also the capital to purchase another 50,000 euros from Guma. That is what has been going on with the kiosk.
Yes. 3 Bowser, 3 5 gallons
Yeah.
for
1,000 lyon.
1,000 lions.
Yeah.
It's not so in certain areas. I know areas where a single 5 gallon can cost 2,000, 2,500, like that. Is there any control over these prices that you people are levied on the gallons of water?
Whenever we have those
You monitor them.
yeah, we try to monitor them, but this is Sierra Leone. Whenever I have these complaints, we go into these communities, try to investigate. It's very difficult to have someone in that community when we go and do that, when they try and do an investigation, go to the location and come forward and say, yes, this tank manager is selling water at 2,000 lions. Most of them are shy to do that. If community members don't come out and for us to prosecute these tank managers, we don't have anything to say. Yeah. So we need community members to come out and identify this tank manager and point to them that they are selling water at the price that Guma did not stipulate. They're selling water at exorbitant prices. Then we can take action on those tank managers. Normally, the tank managers are not selected by Guma Valley. They are handpicked by the communities. The councillors, the headman, the headwoman, the chiefs, those stakeholders in the community, then the one that selects the tank managers to manage the community. So we go back to the chiefs and the councillors and said, this person is not trustworthy. We need you to replace this individual. We've done that in a lot of communities. So if you have any community that has that issue, let it come to Guma office. We have the Guma office at Tower Hill. We have the head office at the Guma building. We have Pademba Road office, the central office. We have Guma First office. We have Kisi office at the east end of the region. Or you can call some of the customer service numbers like 088 312 589. You can call those numbers and report. We can try to take action and investigate those issues.
Okay, so those who are what would I say? Those who are inflating the price of 5-gallon water, you're supposed to be very, very careful, because Guma Valley is ready to be checking. People in areas, these are practices that it's something like a collective responsibility. Sierra Leoneans supposed to police one another. When you see things that are not correct, things that make people continue to suffer, don't be afraid, don't be shy to bring them out. Say no, Guma Valley, according to Guma Valley, the 5-gallon water is supposed to be 1,000 lions.
3 gallons for 1,000 lions.
Look at that, 3 of that 5-gallon for 1,000 lions. But yet, people just go beyond the control and then they do things as they like. Well, we are getting it from the horse's mouth. 3 5-gallon is equivalent to 1,000 lion for those who are very close to those water tanks. That's what it's supposed to be. But what about people living up in the hills? You know, in Freetown, especially in Freetown, we have so many hills around us. The capital city is sitting down at the foot of the hills, and so many people, half of the population living up these hills, and there's where the problem starts from. People from up the hills, you will see them coming right down to the low level to find water from street tap or from neighborhood. And how do you help these people up there where even Bowsers cannot go up there, these cars cannot go up there?
That's the major challenge. There's little we can do for this community at the moment, but with the intervention of DFID and the other donors, we're trying to construct reservoirs up these hills in which we can pump water to these reservoirs in which they can supply to these communities up the hills. But at the moment, much cannot be done in that direction, because having vehicle to climb those hills is suicidal. At the moment.
It's difficult.
How the Guma network was designed, it was not designed for some of these communities. And some of these communities now are forest and hill environment. Residents were not there 50 years back. So now we are cutting down trees, and these communities also they have a negative effect, quote unquote, on the water system, because when they cut the trees to construct the houses, they deprive the streams of their water source. There are no trees again to provide water to these streams. So we are appealing again. We are working with the Minister of Lands and other local government authorities,
Like the Environmental Protection Agency.
to call in off some certain areas in which communities have not started building. Yeah, call them the red zone. Yeah, we don't want communities to go there again.
And
Because if they go there, we lose water in future.
yes, I think they are supposed to be a very good contribution to the Ministry of Forestry, Forest Reserve. Yesterday it was a World Forestry Day. And what was your contribution for this forest reserve for the authorities to know that the forest is another water catchment, and it is so needful, it is so necessary that people should know? Did you people give any contribution to the day yesterday to raise awareness about the importance of the forest in terms of water?
Yeah, Ebu Piaro, Mr. Ali Kaba,
Yeah.
was with them. I think there was some sort of seminar or some event that took place in which we are there with them, because Adam, the Guma Dam is located in the national park of Freetown. The Guma, yeah. So it's right in the middle
So
of
the one at Regent there?
the one at mile 13.
Okay,
The Guma Dam, the big dam. Yeah, it's located at the national park, right in the middle of the forest. Yeah. So we work in conjunction. They have facilities in the catchment area in which Guma and them are the only one that have access to our facilities, in which we take data and try to protect. They have the forest guards and things like that. We work in conjunction with them. We have regular meetings with them and updates and things like that.
Now, the water, yes, the forest and the water, they're inside the same nature. It's all nature. What I'm saying here is the water from the boreholes and the water from the dam that you people constructed, is it as pure as each other?
Yeah.
Which one is more pure than which one than the other?
Pure water is pure water. There's no pure. Yeah, when water is pure. For the dam, we use surface water. For surface water, because it's
When you say
exposed,
surface water,
like water from streams,
okay,
that's what we capture at the dam. The
okay,
dam.
okay.
So for water surface water on streams, they are liable to pollution. Yes, wind can throw soil in it. The bats can do things in them.
Garbage.
Yeah, garbage. So when we collect them, we have to treat them. We go through all the process: sedimentation, filtration, chlorination, flocculation, all sorts of things. We treat the water before we supply to people. For boil water, the ground acts as a filter, because we have different levels of soil. So for us to tap that water, we go about 100 meters below the surface of the earth. So the water that is there is very pure. It has gone all through the filtration process to that lower elevation. You can take that, tap that water and drink it without no issue. Yeah.
So it becomes the same pure water.
Yeah.
All right. Now, all the dams that are around, by 13, that of Regents and elsewhere, do you people treat them the same way as you treat as you explained just now?
Yeah.
They are all having filters, going through the chemical processes, that of
Yeah.
Mile 13,
Yes.
that of Regent, and the rest of it.
Yeah, all of our systems have to treat some sort of treatment process. For the Babadori gets its water from Congo Dam and Sugarloaf and Takayama. Those three locations, they all flow into Babadori. Now we have a treatment process. We treat the water, go through all this process, and supply the water. For the reservoir at East Allentown, it has its water from Charlotte Ware. From Charlotte Ware and Takayama Ware at Charlotte. It goes by gravity to Allentown. I will treat them, we filter the water, we chlorinate the water, and supply. The same for Bam Whitewater and Wellington. Water comes in, we treat the water and supply. Guma does not supply water from reservoirs that is not treated. All of our water are treated.
And then, is there any way to say, like using some pipes, PVC pipes or iron pipes or what you call them, to send water to areas up in these hills and whatnot? And I believe there is a machine that can help to push water.
Yes.
Is there any plan to send pipes up these areas where water is very difficult?
Yeah, I said that earlier, that we are working with DFID and the NGOs, the donor partners.
No,
to do
maybe
that.
you people are trying to create dams.
So
I'm talking about presently. we having pipes from the water supply that we have in around to climb to those.
When you pump water, you have to pump water to something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you don't pump water to something, just in the line gets pressurized and it breaks, and the machine that you use to pump damages. So we need to create a reservoir up the hill which will pump the water to. That's the engineering behind it. Because if you just put on the pump, the line becomes pressurized and it might explode and damage individuals in this community. So we need to construct the reservoir firstly, then we can pump water to these reservoirs.
Now the supply of water through these reservoirs, is it a strategized schedule to say that there are days or every day they're supposed to supply water, or there are days that they supply, days that they try to catch some water, reserve it to supply the next day? How is the routine of the water supply?
We have a rationing schedule. Yes. The water that we have in our dams and at our reservoirs cannot supply the inhabitants of Freetown for 24-hour period. So we ration the water. We have days in which the east gets water, we have days in which the west gets water, we have days in which central gets water. And we are trying for them, all of these areas, to get at least 15 hours of water in a day.
But Pierre Palmer, the east, the central, the west, they are not getting their supply from one reservoir. They are getting their supply from different reservoirs. But now they are all going with the same routine. Why?
They get water. Freetown, and the water supply to Freetown comes 97% of it comes from the Guma Dam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Freetown.
Yes, Guma Dam.
The entire Freetown.
Yes, 97% of its water comes from Mile 13, the Guma Dam. The other facilities I just said just provides minute amount of water to augment the Guma Dam, but with all that, it's still not enough.
Yeah.
So that's why we do ration the water. We have days, because if we choose a day to give all of this area water, virtually nobody will have the full pressure that he deserves. So we keep the water in the west for one day, we keep the water in central for one day, we give the water to the east for one day.
So the main reservoir supply these mini reservoirs, and then they supply
the mini reservoirs virtually, the mini reservoirs virtually are for the minor sources, and also to provide head to supply water to distribution. Because if you take the water directly from the Guma Dam and Mile 13, it might not get enough pressure to come to Wellington. So firstly, you transfer the water to a higher elevation at Spur Road, release the water again to Tower Hill, also, and release the water again to Maxwell Street. So from those reservoirs, it goes to the community. With that head of the reservoir, when we said head, we refer to as pressure. With that pressure on those reservoirs, that's how we get water going up at two-story house, at three-story houses.
Well, the program is The Views, coming to you live from Freetown Television Network and Freetown Radio 90.4 FM. Viewers and listeners out there, today is World Water Day. Water, which is the most essential commodity one can find in our nature. And today is a day set aside, obviously, to talk about water. Well, you heard a lot about how we get our water in Freetown. Nevertheless, the crisis is still ongoing, but we are fighting to our fingertips to see how we can salvage the situation. We go for a short break, and when we come back, we continue with more conversation on the theme.
VFX footage. VFX footage. VFX footage. VFX footage. footage.
You know they? No. When I tell me I go join this local SIM couple, for me I download this thing and I want to be able to get access to the account. And I want to know so now we can.
Okay, so now this one is really simple. You don't go to the bank?
No.
Okay. Now go to the bank, let them update your account. Make sure say your telephone number they all know. Because now the telephone number will make you get access to your local SIM couple.
Okay.
Where you they go? Make sure say you carry your bank ID card and also the mobile phone where you they use because now there we go download the app for you. Okay, so now you will not get account with me. What you need to wait for? Go to any of we branch and open account so you self go enjoy the local SIM couple.
Local Commercial Bank don't make life better for we all.
Today waka just begin for me to better tomorrow. For as long as we dey keep for work on we self, we go most bring out we best. We own best in how we can come near the people and things them we matter to we. We dey look for experience where they connect we any side and they give it sense altered.
Orange, the most reliable network na Salone today. Don't put plenty money per network coverage, data service, and plenty other thing there. We don't come near you now. So you and you family them go enjoy the best telecom service at the highest standard. And inside you then a Salone.
Orange.
Alright, welcome back to your midday news and current affairs program, The Views, live from Freetown Television Network on Channel 35 and Freetown Radio 90.4 FM. Today is World Water Day. And yes, thinking about water, we get rules and responsibility of people concerning water towards water. We're supposed to know how to use water for it to be in our needs each and every time we need them. I believe there are certain precautions. Sorry, I believe there are certain precautions or measures that people are supposed to apply. People are supposed to adhere to for them to get water at all times. Are there measures or conditions that you think, or advice that you think you can give to people for them to preserve water and then use it time after time? Palmer, you are the public relation officer of Guma Valley Water Company, and of course I believe that there is a document on precautions of how to, you know, and I was so happy about the prepaid meter. You see, when the prepaid meter came to existence, people started overlooking that no, this is something that we're supposed to be responsible for. When they go home, when they leave the office, they put off all the switch, because you know if you don't put off all the switch, you leave the current on, obviously you are going to buy more credit or more units for your meter. Is there any precaution measures for people to at least reserve water and take it to be something serious?
Yeah, okay. This is one of the reasons why we had a review of the Guma Act, in which it was passed last year. For people to, okay, Guma is not like electricity. Yeah. And people tamper a lot with Guma meters. Yeah. For electricity, you can put your hand on that thing because you're afraid you'll die. Yeah. So for Guma, people go, they remove the meter. When you ask why was that done, they said the meter is blocked or things like that. And frankly, we can't prosecute those individuals because of what the Act says. But to review the Act, we now prosecute those individuals. In relation to water conservation, we don't provide 24-hour water supply. So we appeal to individuals with water connection to have storage capacities at the houses, in which we supply water, you store the water, you use some, and the next day. So we advise you to have a storage capacity that can last for at least 2 days before you get the next supply.
Now, and preserving those, getting those tanks at home and keeping the water there for a day, 2 or 3, don't you think it's going to be contaminated, or it's going to be unpure for the use of mankind?
We will have what we call a residual chlorine in water, chlorine water. All of the water that we see in pipes and bottles, they have some aspect of chlorine in it. That chlorine keeps the water alive. So it can do it for days, weeks, months without anything happening to it. So the residual chlorine, it's about 0.03 milligram. It's what the body accommodates. So water cannot be stale or go bad or cold. So the chlorine is there to keep it active for you to drink it whenever you want it. I advise you, our friends at home, that the containers that store the water, to make sure that we clean them regularly, on a weekly basis. For them, because those are the points of pollution. Because different people handle them, touch them, go with bacteria on those tap heads and things like that. Those are things that should be clean. I can tell you, we've done lots of tests on the water, different areas. When you go to the dam, the water is pure. You go to our reservoirs, the water is pure. You take the taps at home, you find some bacteria in the water. But when you chlorinate the tap heads, you clean the tap properly, and do the test again, you can tell you that water is going to be pure water.
But even the pipes that the water run through, some of them tend to contaminate the water.
So, we have this issue with spaghetti connections. When people, they cut pipe, they leave it running, and then join it again. The process of cutting the pipe and joining it again, bacteria goes into the system. That's why another thing I wanted to appeal to consumers is the issue of pipe cutting. Please do not cut pipes. It's very detrimental to humans, because you're not just wasting precious water that has been treated and distributed, but also you input bacteria into the system. The bacteria, it goes a long way, it thrives in water. It can be there for ages. But the only good thing is that the chlorine in the water tries to tackle this bacteria that goes into the system. But sometimes the bacteria are so many, the chlorine cannot fight all of these bacteria. That is why I said we need chlorine in the water for it to keep the water active.
This chlorine, Palmer, is there any effect on man? Maybe the quantity, drinking water every day. Some people drink 2-3 liters of water in a few seconds for a day. They drink half a gallon of water, something like that. Don't you think that the chlorine has some effect on the human body?
For water that's been treated by a recognized institution like Guma Valley, Salawako, some of the water manufacturing plants, we have what we call the WHO standards. It states that the residual chlorine in water should not be more than 0.05 milligram. Above that, it tends to affect the system, the human system. Or below that, a human system can handle that amount of chlorine in the system. So that's why Guma keeps the chlorine content with 0.005. I can tell you that same for Sawako and for all the bottling companies that are being regulated.
That's 0.005. it is going into the reservoir, and the reservoir having what amount of water that you can equivalent to 0.005? Is it a gallon, or is it this 5,000 liter? How
for you to have this 0.005, you have to get your where you treat the water. You have to get the storage capacity of it. That's how you know the amount of chlorine you're gonna put. That's equivalent to 0.005. Okay. Yeah. So let me say you have this 10,000 liter reservoir. Yeah. You can put 10 milligrams of it. With all the calculation, chemical formula calculation, you can use 0.05 milligrams of residual chlorine. Yeah. So for bigger reservoirs, like 100,000 liters, it has the capacity of chlorine for you to put there, for you to equivalent to that output. So you have to work the math backwards. Yeah. So it depends on the container you're going to store the water. That's how you know the amount of chlorine you're going to put in the water.
For safety reasons, can people buy this chlorine? Can they get them somewhere, use it at home, use it in different places where water is necessary?
For Guma, we just sell chlorine to the general public. For you to import chlorine to Sierra Leone, you have to have a license to do that. For the means of health and sanitation. Yeah. Because chlorine is very harmful. Yeah.
It's useful at the same time.
It's harmful to humans.
Yes, that's why I asked the question.
Yeah.
How much chlorine does the body supposed to contain?
Yes, it should contain 0.05 milligrams of chlorine.
Yeah.
That's what the body can contain. So that's why you can't go and buy chlorine from a shop or something. It's very difficult. You can't tell me that this shop they sell chlorine. Yeah. If the Ministry of Health knows that, they go and close it and find the owner or something of that. Yeah. So you have to have a license from the Ministry of Health for you to import chlorine, and chlorine is being handled by institutions, Guma, the NGOs, that anybody that does water business, and those that have license to even buy the chlorine. So you have to have a license to sell the chlorine, and you have to have a license to buy chlorine. Anybody cannot buy chlorine. That's why we have lots of people with wells going to Guma and other things. I have a well, I want to chlorinate my well. In those cases, what to do, we send an individual to go there, look at the well dimension, the depth of water in the well, and it has the calculation that you do to know the amount of chlorine in it. So chlorine the well for that individual and come back to our office and tell them that the next chlorination is due this period of time. Yeah, that's what we do. We offer those technical advices to residents with boreholes and wells at their homes.
Ah, that's a fine one. Now, talking about water, there is a competition. You have these water companies shooting everywhere. You can see people doing commercial business, commercializing the water away from what Guma and Salwako is doing. We have packets, small sachets of water, bottles, small bottles, bigger bottles. Is that competition, does that competition tend to hinder your goals at Guma?
That competition is a healthy competition, because the output of that competition is that more people get water. Yeah. Guma should supply water to communities, to individuals. But for instance, now you want water at this station. Yeah. If I'm not doing, I don't have to go to the tap to fetch water. So the company, they bottle the water and packet the water for you, for your use. Most of these companies are customers of Guma. Yeah. So in one way or the other, we sell water to them. So the water goes, what they do is like the package the water well and help us transport water to communities that we can't reach. So they are doing a good job in that.
Yes, and sometimes people blame you people that you sell the water only to these water manufacturers, the water commercial people, other than sending it to the public when it is necessary.
No, I would say categorically that's not true, because I can tell you that we do have more than 2,000 of water companies in Freetown. We have about 20,000 accounts in Guma Valley, and mean that households with connections. So and those accounts we bill them every month, and they pay to Guma. So they are receiving the water. So if you say you have 20,000 people pay to you, that means they are receiving water. You can't pay for water that you don't receive. So we cater for all of these people, not just we don't segregate. We cater for packages, we cater to factories, we cater for individual residents. That's why everybody has their own tariff. Yeah.
That's where I wanted to reach. These companies, these MDAs, ministries, departments and agencies, all the offices around town, they use water. And these water companies, they use water. And I believe they are paying some money to Guma. Yeah. Can't that funding from these people, that money that you people collect, can't it salvage the situation as quick as possible other than waiting for donor partners?
You have to look at, in fixing tariff, it's a whole lot of process. Now we have the EWRC.
EWRC. What's that?
The Electricity and Water Regulation Commission.
Yeah.
Then the one in which fixes tariff license, issue the tariff license to Guma institutions and things like that. Yeah. We go through the process because they look at the income of Sierra Leoneans. Yeah. Most of Sierra Leoneans live under $2 a day. Yeah. So you look at all that in fixing the price, and this infrastructure that we beg to donors to help us fix is because they are expensive in the world market. They are not produced in Sierra Leone. Yeah. So the world market prices go up, but a tariff price does not go up because we have to look at the income of Sierra Leone brothers and sisters. So that's how we take and fix the tariff price. For instance, the tariff price for a residential customer is about $2.50 for 1,000 liters meter cube for 1,000 liters.
Yeah, 2,000.
2,500 millions
for
1,000 liters.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So if you look at that, on an average in the world scale, that's the lowest tariff ever. So you can't use that tariff to buy fuel, to buy chemical, to pay staff, to buy pipes and fittings.
Cost recovery.
Yeah, yeah. We just break even. Go and just break even with that amount of tariff for just keep the company running and providing the water that is here.
Okay.
If we want to expand, that means we have to increase the tariff, or we ask government to help us with that direction.
Now, sorry, Pierre, I'm suffering from some cold. I know you sense that since you started the program.
Yeah.
But notwithstanding, there are certain MDAs that categorically refuse to pay water bills to Guma, and sometimes that complaint popped up.
Yeah.
How about that?
That is true. Yeah. We have some MDAs that do not pay. But luckily for us, we had a meeting a week ago at the State House, in which the MDAs were instructed to pay Guma all of their backlog. We're talking about billions of leones. And frankly, the process is ongoing.
Yeah.
We've been in touch with the Ministry of Finance, and the Ministry of Finance is processing some payment. The Ministry of Finance categorically told us that they can pay us the bulk money in full upfront, but they will do it in phases.
All right.
So that's a step in that direction in which the MDAs are trying to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well. World Water Day, yes, it's good. Water is life, but yet there are constraints. So if there is a message for this day, what would you like to say?
The theme of this day is leave no one behind. What do they refer to as leave no one behind? We have what the white man calls marginalized people. The women, girl child, disabled people, they all need water. They all have the universal access to water like we do.
Yeah.
So no one is going to be left behind. Everybody is going to move in that direction for us to have water for all, because we have the Sustainable Development Goal and for 2030 that everybody should have access to safe drinking water. Yeah. That is why we said we're not going to leave no one behind in moving in that direction. Everybody is going to move in the same direction for us to have water. And doing that, we are trying our best in Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
We are looking at constructing the River Onkel. and wish to bring water to Freetown. We're looking at to repair the Guma Dam. We're looking at to include more mains in Freetown, take water to communities that are underserved and deprived, take water to up the hills, and things like that. We are trying to bring in the PPP model, the public-private partnership model. We are currently piloting it we're looking at Calabar Town, in which consumers can gather themselves into enterprise, sell water for Guma and get for Guma and pay Guma the money.
Yeah.
We're doing a DMA project in King Tom and Aberdeen, in which all moves in that direction. We take water to the least person,
right.
No one behind.
Sorry. Thank you very much, Pierre Palmer. That's the PRO, Poor Manager for Guma Valley Water Company. Thank you for joining us in today's edition of The Views. And I know listeners out there and viewers out there have learned a lot, and we have come to the peak of this particular program for today. And also, thank God it's Friday. Well, viewers, this is how to bring the curtain down on today's edition of the program, The Views. But notwithstanding, water is everywhere. Water is there for you, water is there for me, and today is World Water Day. And according to the theme for the day, no one is going to be left behind. Everybody is on board. Everybody is supposed to get some water somewhere, drink, enjoy water, and make yourself at home. We have water in Sierra Leone, we have water just around the country. We have the Atlantic Ocean, we have we have the dam, we have the hills, we have the valleys, we have everything. Let's try to use them responsibly. Let's try to use them to at least help ourselves in the water crisis situation. If we are only casting our blame all the time on our government officials, on Guma Valley and the rest of Salwako and whatnot, yes, it's our right to say that this is good and this is not good. But at the same time, we have responsibilities to carry on. And some of these responsibilities is the way we take care of things and the way we use our natural resources. It has been a very pleasant day, and I want to thank my able manager, that's Mr. Usman Toure, not forgetting you, Ebenezer, and all the producers that come together to bring you the views live from Freetown Television Network on Channel 35 and Freetown Radio 90.4 FM. I have been your host, Claudia Taylor, wishing you a happy day and a very good start of a weekend. Till we meet again, have a pleasant day.
VFX footage. VFX footage. VFX footage. VFX footage. VFX footage.